No, it's not made for fucking kids. Do you get it? I just got it too because it said tricks are made for kids, but dicks aren't. You know what I mean? That's how it really be out here in the streets, though. Did you hear me? I said tricks are made for kids, but dicks aren't. You know what I mean? But what happens when you're a child of God, you know? I guess it just means you have pubic hair at lunch. Is she with pubic hair or without pubic hair? And is it by choice or is it by circumstance? It's kind of crazy. Like, I put these pants on and now I feel like, I don't even know. I feel like so awesome, I guess. Just looking at myself in these pants, you know? I couldn't be simpler, you know what I mean? So yes, we now have dingleberry attacks and pringleberry attacks. And no, they're not made for kids, but dicks are, I guess. That's what society says. What do I know? That's why I gave up my emotions years ago for Lent. On another note, though, like, not really like pissed, but it's just, I don't know, like, I guess internally, like, I have different signals type shit. So it's like when something is dealing with my body, it's like a different signal or whatever. So like I have these pants, and like my goal this year is to actually like invest in some bottoms, some apple bottom jeans, and like so like okay, we'll just get into it right where we left off. Okay, so when was that? Like August? Was it like in August of 2018? We'll just say that like I didn't realize anything was going on internally with my body. Okay. But at the same time, I do believe in a lot of things. Like I have like the craziest fucking beliefs ever, and it's kind of interesting, I guess. Like even I think it's interesting. So if I think it's interesting, I'm guessing God does too. But anyways. So I believe in stuff like, you know, the power of God in a sense. I believe in stuff like the power of God because like I think God built us all as like really strong things. So it's like, you know, 85% of the time, like you don't really need God in a sense of you don't need the power of God, you know what I mean? And it's like that 15% might feel like those might be really the only moments in your life, really, you know what I mean? But it's like obviously some things like just because we're in human bodies doesn't mean that, you know, like certain things shouldn't happen to humans no matter just you know what I mean? Like just because things exist doesn't mean things should happen to it, you know? Like there's a lot of things with the human body that I'm sure can't be done, and then certain things probably have been done with the human body that shouldn't be done and whatnot. And the same thing that goes with mentality and spirituality and emotions and shit like that. And so I think there's two factors that come into play most times. It's like everyone is unique, duh, right? I feel like everyone has a lot of elements that combine, and I don't think there's like a limit to how many elements you have that work as one. You know what I'm saying? Like I think sometimes it's almost like, well, how many sticks can you carry, you know, at once? You know what I mean? And then each stick is your own stick. You know what I'm saying? So you could have 100 sticks, and they're all different, but they all make up different sticks you have, and it, with that though, combines into one element. So it's like obviously then there's a lot more going on in your fucking arms than what might be going on in another person's arms. It might be that they're unaware of all the sticks that they can have and what to do with those sticks once they have them. It might be that another person has 100 sticks, but they're not all. They didn't really do anything with them. It could be that another person just didn't fucking want 100 sticks, and it could be a lot of different things. So it's like you have that one element, and then you have life or whatever, and it's just like, I think that one thing had happened to somebody, and so I feel like God is in the middle. Like God's gonna be there for everyone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when I started developing a tumor, I think I probably was aware of it and stuff. And I think God knows my fragile nature with certain things. And, but also it's like a strength, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think where God sometimes with me would be needing to do the most work, God ends up actually having to do the least amount of work or something like that. It's kind of crazy. But it's something like something with my will or something that overpowers everything. Like something with my strength overpowers everything because I hate stuff so much. Like, so it's almost like it works together. But so like that would be God too. So maybe there's like a different way God comes in. It's just crazy how I think sometimes. So anyways, like I'm just hyper aware of things. Like I'm just hyper aware. So it's like when you're hyper anything, like there has to be another function happening like at all times. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like I don't even know what it fucking is, but so anyways, I think that I probably was aware of something growing inside of me. But I think it was almost like one of those things where like so much is going on, and a lot of it has to do with my nature, and then a lot of it has to do with like everyday functioning that I have. And so I think that you know, I do such a good job at my own issues, whether they're self-created or other created, but they're my issues, right? Like no one else can be in my body, and no one else can be my spirit, and no one else can be my problem solving or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like I think I just do a really, 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 really good job at accomplishing issues for myself. And I think it has to do with a lot of things that are instilled in me, and also how I function every day, every second of the day. That's something almost automatic. So in August, you know what I'm saying? In August, then I was, for whatever reason, I wasn't being able to button my pants. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think I do such a good job at shit. And I'm just making stuff up right now because I really don't know. But like, if anyone gets to make stuff up right now, it's me. You know what I mean? So like, I'm just making stuff up, but it's probably like, who knows? Like, it might be actually true. So it feels true. So it might be true. So why not talk about it? Okay, so it's so fucking funny. Okay, so like I wasn't being able to button my pants. And another thing that I just thought about was that like this could be something too. Like I was starting to like want to just like, like say someone has cancer or something, and you might see them spending more time by themselves, like, and it could be something you don't know this. It could be a year before they even have cancer. they start becoming aware that something's going to happen, but they don't really know what it is. And without, and just who they are, they start doing things differently. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm just saying this right now. Like, I really don't fucking know. But for whatever reason, like, I would always be outside smoking cigarettes and stuff like that. And I would even be in pain a lot and stuff like that. And this was maybe in 2017, but I was just doing that type of stuff. And like, I don't even know, like, maybe I knew I was sitting on a fucking egg. Like, who the fuck knows, right? I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna sit on this egg again. Like, what the fuck? Could be a million different things, but anyways, like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird because, like, what if, like, I literally was aware of something and, like, I was treating it like it was, like, an egg or something? Like, I was a hen, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, I started acting like a rooster or something. Like, who the fuck knows? But maybe it's just because I'm so good at dealing with stuff. Like, it's crazy. But anyways, so then I wasn't being able to button my pants in August. And it was just like one of those things, like, nobody fucking has time for that shit. You know what I mean? And it's funny too, because like I am so fucking, like, I'm not even gonna say that about myself, but it's like I've had people around me all my life that always tell me how stupid I am and stuff. And that's like the only things they've ever said to me is how stupid I am and stuff like that. So like I have a tendency then to be like, I am so fucking stupid, you know what I mean? So it's not that I'm so fucking stupid. I think it's just that I'm so good at dealing with stuff. But when I started not being able to button my pants, like, you would think that'd be a big deal, right? Especially since I know that I wasn't gaining weight. Like, that's kind of like, what would cause that? You know what I mean? And it was like, I don't even know what the fuck my problem was, because I was just kind of like, I guess this is just a new look for me. Like, it was a new, like, addition. Like, I had just started wearing belts or something. Like, it was fucking weird. But I think it's because, like, too, like, I've never even bought my own pants. So, like, when you're wearing other people's money, basically, and it's like other people choosing your clothes, it's kind of like, you know, a cycle of abuse, kind of, you know what I mean? Like, you just get used to the abuse and you fucking deal with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, God comes into play and you find a way to, like, escape shit. So, like, that's probably some of it, too. I just thought I was being abused again, you know what I mean? And it, like, wasn't to the point to, like, maybe the abuse got so bad that I actually, like, wanted to talk about it. Like, I have no idea, you know? So anyways, you could actually think of it that way. But you can think of it a lot of ways. Like, I'm not scared to just, like, express things. So I just think that was kind of funny. And I guess, like, you know, certain people, and, like, I wish I could be more detailed right now, but, like, I don't even feel like it, that effort to do that. But, you know, for instance, like, the woman that lives beneath me, like, you know, like, people always think, like, oh, this person acts so tough, but, you know, just wait, or that's just a front and stuff like that. And it's just like, you really don't know my strength. Like, you just fucking don't. And I'm sure everyone says that, though, right? And, like, I would never even say it's a strength or anything like that, but I'm just like, you just really don't know how retarded I can get. Like, you just fucking don't. But, so, like, so anyways, like, my body is all of a sudden, like, so you know what I mean? Like, the first real, I guess, but not being able to button your pants is kind of a big deal, you know what I mean? Not being able to button your pants is kind of a big deal. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's normal not being able to button your pants. Anyways, so then like I was just kind of like, now this is starting to hurt, and now this is starting to hurt, and I don't know. It's kind of weird. I didn't even think that though. I'm just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about it. You know what I mean? I don't even know what to talk about this, but anyways. So like, anyways, fucking blow me right now. So like, obviously I had surgery fucking May 28th, and then like the dingle fairies were just like fucking botched my surgery basically. Like, let's just stab her 100 times. So it's just like, okay, let's do it, bitch. Do it while I'm out, while you have the only chance. Because I can fucking run so fast I start flying. So like, what the fuck am I talking about? Okay, so it just has to do with pants, really. I think that's why I just talked about shit, because it has to do with pants. But anyways, my fucking scar hurts. So it's obviously still a wound, right? And it's because I have these fucking retarded pants on, and I'm in my car so much, and it's like constantly rubbing on the scar that's trying to heal or whatever. I was like just in the shower. I was like, fuck, shit fucking hurts. You know what I mean? So it's almost like a cut or something. It's kind of weird. So like, have to fucking baby that now. You know what I mean? Now I can't fucking wear those pants or whatever the fuck it is. But it's like not really irritating. Like it's really not irritating, but it's kind of upsetting because it's my scar. You know what I mean? And it's like I've been wearing shit, not realizing that it's like constantly rubbing up against it, and I like thought it's obviously not healed yet. Like it's really not a scar yet, you know? So it's like kind of dumb as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But on the same note, it's kind of awesome too. Like, holy shit, I'm still healing. You know what I mean? Isn't it crazy too, though, that like people actually want to torture others? And it's like, you don't even exist right now. Do you not see that? The fact that you want to torture others, like, means you're not really existing. You know? It's kind of weird. I think mosquitoes torture people, you know what I'm saying? Like, something about that is, like, really fucking sick. Like, people probably just think of mosquitoes as, you know? But it's like, mosquitoes are literally like vampires. Like, they really are, you know? Like that's, if you really think about mosquitoes the way they don't need to think about them, but it's like, well, you can't escape what you do to people. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, not to mention you're ugly as fuck. But I was literally out here behind me like fucking 5 minutes, and like already got ate the fuck up by mosquitoes, killed one, blood went everywhere. And it's just like, I just think something about that is just really weird. Like, I just don't really think that mosquitoes are good people, you know? I don't fucking think they are. That's just some fucked up shit. Like, imagine if a person could just come up and fucking take a pin and poke you whenever they wanted. Like, that's the same thing. And if you really think about it, that's the same thing as abuse, too. Because it's like, people that abuse or torture others, it's because they think that they can. Or it's like, well, you're on this earth. Or, oh, well, I exist. That means, like, I can do whatever I want to you. It's the same way mosquitoes are. Guess they don't know any better, though. At least God made him, like, so you could actually kill him. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's like, oh, I'm not a murderer. I'm not a murderer. It's like, you fucking kill mosquitoes. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Just because they're an insect. It's so weird. I was talking, though, but I feel like I definitely was under a pringleberry attack earlier. But seriously, you kind of wonder, like, when someone goes through this life and then they make it somewhere else, and it's like, think about the person they were as a human. You know what I mean? And then think about the fact that it's a possibility. There's a lot of possibilities. There's a possibility that their spirit can interact with you. Think about the type of person they may have been while they were on Earth before you start thinking that they might be God. So a pringleberry attack. Okay, so they're on Earth and they have these issues. Now they're somewhere else in another realm where they can be invisible and still interact with you as a human. But they don't have those same human conditions that they chose. So there's probably nothing worse than someone that didn't treat themselves right on Earth than what it's like to be around them in the afterlife, or when they can interact with the physical world or whatever it is. You believe in ghosts? Oh, oh, oh. So yeah. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need in another life. But it's like, Pringleberries don't like to talk about diets. You know what I mean? So it's like, so why are they leaning on me then? My advice for them deals with being on a diet. They don't want to fucking talk about a diet. They definitely didn't want to talk about a diet when they were human. Feels so good out here. I'm just like really trying to be I feel like I'm trying to be appreciative of things that like when I like, when I was younger that I wasn't able to appreciate. Like I think that's been part of some of my like what I want for myself type shit. Like thinking about what I want for myself, and like a lot of it has to do with me being like, how do I appreciate things? Like, you know what I mean? Because like I don't know, like I just don't really ever want to um what's it called? Like I don't ever want to like disregard God or whatever. So it's like I tried thinking about every single way to like appreciate God. So like a lot of it has to do with like just because like I guess you could say like I'm not even gonna say that, but so anyways, like as far as this like the temperature changes and stuff and like how I can be appreciative of that, and it's kind of like it's almost like prayer in a sense, to tell you the truth. It's kind of weird. So that's what I'm doing right now. I started off being appreciative of my clothes. And then I started talking about how I think I am appreciative of my scar. Even like I'm not appreciative of the doctors that did it, but I'm appreciative of my body and the way my body heals. Like I think it's something that's awesome, and like I'm super like amazed by it, and like I feel like it makes me special and stuff like that. And so like I'm happy about this time of my life because like I know now when you look back on stuff and you know what I mean, you didn't really take in the moments that you were going through. And so like so that's another thing I try to be appreciative of, but it's like you don't even know how to do that really. So it's like, God probably looks at it and laughs. But it's like, well, you know what I'm saying? It's probably funny, you know what I mean? Like how do you be appreciative? Like there's really no way to like do that. So it's like I found a way and that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny, but it's something that's legit, something that has to be spiritual. So it's another thing. It's like, yes, kind of like upset me because like I don't want to interfere with my healing, but at the same time, like I have to realize like it's really not that big of a deal, and it's reminds me that I'm still healing, and that's something that I want. Just because like I want to be so appreciative, you know what I mean? Like I don't want these little things to just like go by and me not be able to have being appreciative of them. So like another aspect is just like I just became aware that I can appreciate something. So and just now I just can't wear pants that touch it or whatever. But so like yeah. I guess I really have no appreciation for mosquitoes. But okay, like I'll tell you something. Okay, so like this is also me making stuff up, but it's like you kind of have to do that sometimes. You know what I mean? You have to be able to make stuff up. So anyways, I made up the whole Pringleberry attack. because I feel like I was under a Pringleberry attack. And so, like, I'll tell you a little bit about it. Okay, so I have two brothers, and one of them is my age. Supposedly, we're like Siamese twins or something like that. We're like conjoined twins, and the doctors had to surgically remove us. Okay, so like I remember as a fucking kid, that motherfucker didn't want anything to do with me. Like I literally think that like he went to the pond with me one time and to look at tadpoles. You know what I'm saying? That was really my only memory of him. So like that motherfucker was on some other shit. I don't know what the fuck that motherfucker was on, but who the fuck knows? So maybe he got the brain, I got the heart, or vice versa, or something like that. Like who the fuck knows? Anyways, so I have two brothers. And then um uh so then okay. I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I'll just try to like illuminate on like how I felt about my dog growing up. So um I think I've already talked about this, but so like I just kind of started feeling bad for my dog because it kind of felt like he became like a nuisance or something because he like got older and like they kept him in the garage and like I don't know, it's like they were treating him like he was a nuisance or something like that. And so like that made me kind of uncomfortable just because like I've always kind of just felt like a visitor here, like a visitor in their house and stuff like that. Like I never really felt close to them or anything like that. And I think it's funny that like as time goes on, they like try to be more manipulative and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. But anyways, it's like well, you didn't care about it 20 years ago. Why would you really? Seems like you really care now. It's kind of disgusting, but anyways, like so like I think that when I was growing up then, so I was around 12 and like my dog was kind of just like being treated like or the dog was being treated like weird, I think. I feel like I was like, what? Like, cause you know what I mean. Like, I feel like they were trying to make, they were, cause they're the parents, right? Like, they kind of set the scene for everything. So like, I perceived the scene that they were trying to set, and like, I was just kind of like, it made me uncomfortable, and so like, I didn't really know what to do then. Like, I didn't really, cause it was like their dog in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it felt like at least. So I would try to be nice to the dog then. And that's really all that it is. Like, I try to treat it like it was a human being because I think that's what I felt like. It was like a human being that they were treating like an animal. So, like, I felt bad for it or whatever. I didn't feel bad for it. I felt uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable for the dog. So, anyways, my parents are like really fucked up people. And they're very manipulative and they're the type of people that like you would see on a game show that would like kill everyone. Like they're just like together they're like very like cutthroat, heartless people. And um words just don't really do it justice. But anyways, so my brother or whatever, the one that I said was my Siamese twin, that we had to get separated at birth. Um he started wanting to hang out with me during my worst days. But we're separated at birth, you know what I mean? It does something to twins, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh my God, he was trying to be so nice to me. I don't have those types of thoughts. He was trying to be so nice to me during my worst days, and he still wants to hang out. And it's like, well, if you didn't want anything to do with me as a 5-year-old, it's kind of weird that you'd want anything to do with me now, you know? So anyways, he is a great guy. He's a top-notch hoe. So, like, he would even, it was just, there's so much weirdness with that motherfucker that it's literally enough to make a preacher cuss. So he got a fucking dog. Happens to be the same dog as the dog I had growing up. And he tries to make me think it's the dog I had growing up. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I guess he thinks maybe because he was born like a second earlier, he thinks he's my big brother and he needs to like always be there for me. Because my dog dying did so much damage. You know what I mean? Treating a dog like it's a human, like humans die too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of funny if you think about it. It's like because I had a thought or whatever it is, because I recognize like another, like how someone else is being treated, somehow it means that there's like this, like, you know what I mean? Like people are kind of fucking psycho. Like you let them run with something, motherfuckers run with something. They really do. So he is now living with my parents. And his dog lives with my parents too. And his dog is kind of like a pervert. And it's like you see, like it's hilarious how like the parents and my Siamese twin brother, like I think it's like they think that like, oh, like I don't know, like I've seen the way they treat like people with mental illness, and it's almost like they treat me where like I have mental illness. Like, oh, like if we tell her about the dog, she's gonna come like because she wants to like, be a dog or whatever. And it's kind of just like, like letting them run with that idea, like, well, how deep can we go? Like, it might be benefiting you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this weird thing that's going on with this dog. Like they think it's going to solve all their problems or something. I have no idea. But it's like I actually really don't even really like the dog. But it's like, my spirit isn't really like, my spirit can do a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, given the opportunities to. Interacting with an animal, okay, my spirit can fucking do that. You see what I'm saying? Like your spirit can do anything that it wants to. So it's like, all I fucking do is pet the dog. My car broke down last week and the dog came to help me. and I fucking pet the dog and fucking feed it, right? And I treat it like it's a baby because that's how they fucking treat dogs, I guess, nowadays. You know, 20 years ago, you weren't treating dogs like this, but now all of a sudden, you guys are treating dogs like they're fucking like princesses and princesses and shit like that. So, like, the ghost of Christmas past must have been there watching me as I pet the dog and feed it a piece of bacon. Because, like, oh my god. Because I just think it's fucking funny. It's too much. It's actually too much to even really explain. But today, the ghost of Christmas past, i.e., also and better known as a Pringleberry, tried attacking me about the relationship I have with that dog, which I actually don't have a relationship with that dog. Besides, like, I pet it and I was, like, kind to it. You know what I mean? I just think it's really funny. But you know how, like, food addicts, I think you should say food addicts. I actually think if we could ask God right now and, like, phone a friend, that it would actually be food addicts. Like, I really fucking think God would say that. I'm not even kidding you. Well, if you know anything about food addicts, is that, like, they obsess about food. Like, they have obsessive thoughts about food. And so it's like, you know, although the person's a ghost now, I'm guessing they still have that type of behavior, you know what I mean? Where it's like obsessiveness and it's like they fantasize. And so, like, I think that, like, that's what was going on. Like, the ghost was, like, fantasizing about me petting the dog and feeding it bacon. And so, like, I swear to you, like, there was a Pringleberry attack on me about that fucking dog and how I petted it and gave it a piece of fucking bacon. And it's just like, I'm not like a spiritual therapist, you know what I'm saying? Like, how things happen with people, like, when they've been on Earth and they've had their issues, and then now they're a ghost and they're still carrying on to certain issues. But it's like, I'm asking America right now, like, what do you guys think it could be? What do you guys think? Like, how did their food addiction translate into these obsessive fantasies about a person petting a dog and feeding it bacon? Like, I don't see the correlation, so I got on here tonight to ask America if they do. Because that's what I dealt with today. And it's like, that bitch must have been tipping the scales. That's all I can fucking say. Like, their fantasies of food as a human must have been so profound. I mean, because their fantasies about this dog and that bacon was, like, on another fucking level. So I can't even imagine what their fucking fantasies about food were like on this earth. I mean, it was something deep, you know? It was something fucking deep. Like, I think they may have had sex with sandwiches type of shit. Like, I'm not even kidding you. So at one point, I just said, I think I need a moment of silence to tell you the truth. I was like, this fantasy has taken over a lot of reality right now. Like, you know what I mean? I've never dealt with the Pringleberry before. But I'm talking about, I've dealt with a lot of other Dingleberry, Hingleberry, Singlelarys, and shit like that. And the Pringleberry literally takes the gold medal for fantasies. Like, I'm not even kidding you. It was like, God damn, I am taking my ass home. You know what I'm saying? And having a moment of fucking silence. Like, I just fucking have to do that for myself. Like, I actually started getting a fever. Like, I really did. And it's like, I'm asking America the second question if they can come up with the answer to the first, but what do you think the fantasy and the obsessiveness would be about a dog and feeding it bacon and petting it? Like, what would that obsession be about? Like that fantasizing obsession. Like, you know what I mean? Because like you could ask America the same question, like, why are you all food addicts? Because most of America is a food addict. So it's like, what is the obsession and fantasy about? I could ask myself the same thing because I've been in their shoes before. We probably all have, really. If we've overate, probably. But I don't think we have the answer to that, to tell you the truth. So maybe there is no answer to this whole fantasizing obsession about petting dogs and feeding it bacon. I have no idea. I mean, to love the taste of mayonnaise in your mouth, so that's like, I think God's sending me psychic messages right now and just be like, like fucking shit all in your mouth. You know what I mean? Like, that's how this person that was on this earth, like, that's what's coming to me. They're sending me messages and they just really like it on their mouth. But but that's what I think it is. It's like they just like food in their mouth. So like maybe it was the dog then. Maybe it's the dog that maybe dogs can like float and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe every time the dog took a nap today, like it was coming to visit me. But it was something out of this fucking world. Like it really was. Like to have me need to have fucking a moment of silence, like that shit's gotta be fucking on another level type shit. So it's like, oh my god, look how shit turns around, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I've never really, I think I've interacted with a lot of ghosts before, like I really feel that way. And like, I just have never met another ghost that could fantasize like that. Like, it was just crazy. It was like, all like, it was so much fantasizing going on with this ghost that it was just kind of like, that's like the only thing I could think of. Like, well, when they were on Earth, they must have been like really a food addict, like a food addict. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing I could really think about. Like, it's got, because I don't think there's anything else that could like come close to that type of shit. So I think it was just they wanted me to feel the pain that they had on this earth with food, and that was the only way that they could do it. Like, make her think about petting a dog and feeding it bacon. That was like because like we don't know anything about ghosts. I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm asking America this tonight. Do you think that makes sense? Like, the ghost was trying to communicate, because I was trying to because the ghost thinks I can set it free. So it was trying to communicate to me like it wanted another person to feel their fantasizing obsession that they had on Earth. And the only way to do that was to give me an image of something. And maybe they thought, because they said that the ghost said to the ghost itself, well, I have to give her an image that she cares about. And the only thing that I guess the ghost could communicate to me about at that moment was like a week ago, I interacted with a dog, and like, you know what I'm saying? My spirit interacted with the animal. And so, like, I was petting it, feeding it bacon. And like, if you're doing that, it's kind of like you're caring for, because you don't really ever pet humans and stuff like that, or feed humans. Like, that's just weird. So maybe the ghost thought, well, then I'm gonna use that to try to help her understand my obsession with food when I was on this earth, and then that's gonna set me free. I think that's what it was, but it was just like I think the ghost kind of like got kind of excited when it started working or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, maybe the ghost wasn't sure that I would understand what it was trying to communicate. And then when I fucking understood it and like I was blown the fuck away, I just think it didn't know how to stop itself because I got it so well. You know what I mean? Like, it was like finally someone fucking listened. You know what I'm saying? And like, I was just like, this is taking me somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, but it wasn't necessarily like the whole petting the dog and feeding it bacon. It was more of like the fantasizing obsession that the ghost was trying to communicate to me. Like, this is like what I went through as a human. And I was just like, this one deserves a moment of silence. It really does. So, like, that was my experience. Take it or leave it. And mosquitoes swarming me again. It's like, I don't know. Anyone that fucking listens to this, but probably like, you're fucking crazy. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. But you know what I think? I think that there are fucking spirits out here that fucking um see how well I've dealt with shit, and they're like, holy fucking shit, maybe this person can help me come to peace with my past or whatever it is. Like, I kind of think that. So, I mean, but why not just say that though? And it's like, well, unless you're God, you can't judge that. You know what I mean? But, anyways, so I guess you could say it was like an eventful day. I hope I did the ghost justice and it doesn't ever visit me again because I'm not into fantasies and I'm not into obsessions. So, you know, we're having a handshake right now. You know what I'm saying? We left things at a respectable place. We're shaking hands, and hope I never see you again. So, you know what I mean? So anyways,